Law of Attraction Talk Radio. Get ready to be the best you can be. Stay tuned for the Law of Attraction Talk Radio with Jules.
Good evening. Welcome to the Law of Attraction Talk Radios. I'm Jules Johnson from beautiful Southern California, where I think I can safely say the drought is now over. And I'm so glad that you could all be with us tonight, whether you're listening live or listening through a download or on YouTube. I am thrilled that you have chosen to be with us during this most incredible show. So let me go ahead and introduce her now. Jo Dunning is a gifted healer, channel, and psychic, as well as the national spiritual teacher. She is clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. I think I said that right. Anyway, Greg Brandon wrote about Jo in his book, The Isaiah Effect, as he witnessed her sealing a man's skull with just her fingers. Yet she dismisses the idea that hers are extraordinary powers, emphasizing that she is an ordinary person, and those abilities are available to everybody. So today, when she speaks to groups at conferences, retreats, or on the radio and television, she's able to use this powerful energy to assist the entire audience simultaneously as she carries on an interesting, delightful conversation about her views on life. At the end of each presentation, those who have listened to her voice often find that their health issues are relieved, their minds are calm, their personality conflicts have resolved, and their life starts to flow once again. Yes, I am thrilled that Jo is with us tonight. And before Jo, I know you're there. See, you can tell how excited I am.
I hear that. It's wonderful. I'm very excited to be here too.
Oh, listen, before we start talking and learning everything that about you, can you tell us about this healing process that will be occurring tonight as people listen to our show?
Sure, I'd be happy to, and I am just delighted to have an opportunity to assist in this way. And what I would like to do tonight is something that I often do on this kind of a show, and that is to offer healing energy, life-changing energy, I prefer the word, or restorative energy, that it will be available to everyone on the show, everyone who's listening, or anyone who replays this recording. This energy will be coming through to help make changes in your life. And so what I would like to do with everyone is have you make a list of maybe 5 or perhaps even 6 items that you feel are bothering you, they're in your way, they hold you back. And then during the conversation that we'll be having during the show, the energy will be sent specifically to you to address those items. So you actually are the one in charge, which is a huge part of what I like to share in teaching, is that the work that is really important to me is to empower others on your individual path and to help to relieve those areas that you feel are in your way. So probably 2 or 3 times, hopefully 3 times during the show, we'll stop the conversation and I'll say it's time to put together another list. So that's what we're doing right now. We are putting together, you are writing down or bringing to mind 5 or 6 items that you'd like to have different in your life. And that can be perhaps something that's going on in your personality that you would like to have different. Maybe you find that you have some fears or phobias or addictions, or perhaps you find that you're too critical or judgmental, or perhaps you would like, you feel like your self-esteem is not good, or you think you're not smart enough, or your body shape isn't right. Anything that may be going on in your personality, those are items that you could address. Also, if you have health issues going on, you can address those health issues. If you have something perhaps going on in a relationship that is bothersome to you, for example, you feel alone or unloved or not well heard or not recognized, or perhaps you are lonely, or maybe you haven't found a partner. So the areas in relationship that are bothersome to you. And that could be in your primary relationship, like with your partner, your loved one, your husband or spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend. Or it could be in relationships with your children or your brothers and sisters or parents, aunts and uncles. So it could be that family circle relationship. Or it could also be relationship with friends or at work. Any area of your work that you feel like is in your way. Maybe you're not using your talents or your skills or your creativity, so you feel stifled or held back or unrecognized, unappreciated, or not well compensated for your efforts. So you could bring any one of those could be an item, or you could have perhaps financial issues where you feel like you're struggling to pay the bills and you're unable to contribute to your family the way you'd like to, or provide for your children or yourself the way that you would like to, so financial issues. Perhaps you had events in childhood that were difficult for you, maybe abusive situations, or maybe the loss of a loved one or a divorce or something that went on in childhood. So all of these, any of these, and any others that you can think of that are things that you feel get in your way now, that they block you or limit you, hold you back, restrict you in some way, then that could be one of the 5 or 6 items that we'll address starting in just a moment. So I'm continuing to talk a little bit and give you ideas so that you can start jotting things down. And as I mentioned, we'll probably stop 3 times during the show, and you'll be able to put together another list of items. And just by having it there, either written down on a list or you bring it to mind, either one, some of you may not be someplace where you can write something down, then the energy will be coming through via the magnificence of radio connection. So you, the being there listening, are receiving the sound waves, the voice waves, that will carry this focus to you. And whenever this recording is replayed, again, it will carry the healing energies to you. So if you would now just bring to mind those 5 or 6 items that you would like to have different in your life, those 5 or 6 things that you feel are holding you back or limiting you or somehow in your way. Just bring them to mind briefly, just briefly, like my relationship or this disease or my money or whatever it is, just very briefly, and then let it go and just sit back and enjoy the conversation that will come up. And we will stop again in a little while and do another little piece of transformational energy work. And if you prefer not to be involved in having any of the energy come to you, then just don't pick any items, and that's just fine. You are the one in charge. This is about empowering you. So we really get to have a wonderful opportunity to be together in ways that will serve you the best. So that's what we'll be doing, and that's what we have just started to do now.
Sounds fabulous.
Great.
And we have got a lot of listeners tuned in too at the moment. I can see it on everything. So everybody is loving this. I can tell already.
Wonderful, wonderful. I know that many times people will send an email after the show or even during the show sometimes, and they talk about what they're noticing and the changes that are taking place in their life. And so you're welcome to send a comment. I mean, it's just, we are just so grateful when we receive the information from all of the listening audience of the changes that took place after the shows. And as I mentioned, some people in past shows have gone back into the archives and replayed the same show many times. And each time you can do a new list of items. So you have so many opportunities to make changes in your life. So it's just a wonderful way to really begin to transform things very rapidly.
This ends part 1 of the Law of Attraction interview with Joe Dunning. Please go to part 2, or you can download the entire show by going to lawofattractiontools.com and click on the Listen Live button.